Hey, Crypto Growth fam, how's it going? This is your host Shazib signing in. We're back with another video, folks. Algorand is the kicker that actually works. It's going to be an interesting one, guys, so make sure to watch till the end. And folks, for those of you who are new to the channel, we primarily discuss utility coins and potential gems. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then subscribe the channel and hit the notification icon for regular videos. Anyways, let's see what's happening with the overall crypto landscape in general and ALGO in particular. So folks, I found this post over here from BlackRock's Robbie Mitchnick, who says that Bitcoin should be uncorrelated or even inversely correlated to key risk factors. Is BTC the ultimate hedge asset? Folks, BTC is the grandfather of this industry. It is the driving force of this industry. If BTC does well, Algorand and the other utility projects have the chance of getting more exposure. That is for sure. And BTC being used as a store of value is okay. It's fine with me. A lot of people do not like it, but it is fine as long as we get exposure to other utility projects as well that give us some potential credibility in the long run and provide us real world use cases. So let's see what Robbie has to say about BTC, the ultimate hedge asset. And it should be this way, in my opinion.
Robbie, as you know, there are a lot of different reasons that people buy and hold Bitcoin. But as you also know, it's frequently referred to as digital gold, right? A store of value. Here we are in a period of time where people are feeling nervous about the economy, and it's not performing like gold. Gold is performing like gold. People are buying gold, but they're not buying Bitcoin. Can you help explain what's going on there?
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating thing, Julie. What we've seen is, if you look at Bitcoin fundamentally on a long-term basis, it really seems like an asset that should be uncorrelated or even inversely correlated against certain risk factors that exist, right? But there are periods where it does have these short-term correlation spikes. And what's interesting is some of what we've seen lately seems to be self-fulfilling and actually a self-inflicted wound by some of the research and commentary that the industry does, leaning into this idea of it as a risk-on asset at times, which really doesn't make a lot of fundamental sense when you think about what it is. It's a global, scarce, non-sovereign, decentralized asset that exists outside of any one country's economic, political, or monetary system. And so that fundamentally, we think is what the long term is. That's why people think of it like digital gold. But you see this short-term trading correlation, and it can be a little bit self-fulfilling, at least in the short term, where before people would focus on, okay, well, higher rates, that's going to hurt Bitcoin the same way it hurts, equities. That makes some fundamental sense. But now it's been extrapolated to things that don't really make any sense at all. Tariffs, it's not clear that tariffs are any fundamental bad for Bitcoin. Economic fears, I don't know if we have a recession or not, but a recession would be a big catalyst for Bitcoin. And certainly the way the market seems to be commenting on it, doesn't reflect that.
Well, unless if people have less money, they have less money to buy Bitcoin, right? Or if there's the wealth effect of people having less money in the market in stocks, they have less money to buy Bitcoin.
Sure, and that's part of it on a short-term basis, but ultimately why I make that comment is Bitcoin is long liquidity in the system, right? It's catalyzed by more fiscal spending and debt and deficit accumulation. That happens in a recession. It's catalyzed by lower interest rates and monetary stimulus. That tends to happen in a recession. And it's catalyzed to some extent over just fears of general social disorder, right? And that too, unfortunately, is something that can come up in a recession. So the market has almost, it seems, gotten us in some ways, not particularly well calibrated, but that's where the opportunity comes in for education in a market and an asset class that's still very nascent, right? And so we've been doing a lot of that in terms of education around our clients, helping them see through some of these conflicting narratives that seem to be out there.
Folks, BTC always sparks some massive debates. People are wondering whether it will go on and break that $100,000 level or it will fall further. Always a speculation, always something happening. But overall, I will add something that BTC needs to be something. Yeah, it needs to be a hedge asset. Because when things do not go well in the economy, BTC should be something that people should be buying or investing into. So let's hope that ultimately it goes on to become that ultimate hedge asset. Anyways, as far as BTC is concerned, it is a store of value, but the projects that can redefine this industry are the utility projects, and Algorand is one of them. These are the projects that are giving us real utility and practical usage in the real world, folks. Been researching Algorand. Zach Humphreys, shout out. So, it is a pure proof of stake that actually works. So this is a key. This is a keyword over here that a statement over here that it actually works, folks. A lot of projects that claim that they work, but Algorand is something that is providing real world use cases to the enterprises, to the financial organizations, financial giants, collaborating with the likes of FIFA. FIFA is the ultimate football body, and depending on where you're at, soccer for those in USA. Zero downtime since launch, 10,000 TPS with instant finality. That's wild. No forking, no validator drama, just reliable tech doing its job. So this is what blockchain is all about. ALGO, the reliable tech that is doing its job, folks. That is it, pure and simple. I'll give you an example of Johan Cruyff. We talked about FIFA, we talked about soccer, football at the moment. He said that playing simple football is the most difficult thing to do. There's a quotation about it. I do not remember specifically what it is. That playing football is simple, but playing simply is difficult, or something like that. So Algo over here is simply doing its job, folks, with zero downtime. You have seen Solana, folks. Although Solana has become a brand, but it has gone through so much downtime and burnout. And look at the kicker over here. MIT's crypto pioneer Silvio Micheli created it. Same guy who won the Turing Award, yet hardly anyone talks about it. Current market cap makes no sense. We're paying premium for chains with way more issues. Market cap, even for utility projects, a lot of proponents say that market cap won't even matter in the long run. Because utility going through this channel, this tunnel is going to be driving demand, and we cannot imagine where the value is going to be because we haven't seen anything like the utility projects in hand. Let's see. Real talk, either I'm missing something major here or this is the most undervalued layer 1 in crypto. What's your take on Algorand? My take on Algorand is, folks, that it is still under the radar. It is still underrated, even in the utility projects community. Oftentimes, I've seen people talk about Ripple. They talk about Stellar, XDC, QNT, even. Algorand is something that is a dark horse even in the utility crypto sector, folks. Let alone the rest of the market, rest of the crypto niches. People oftentimes take Algorand for granted, but in my opinion, Algorand has a shot to become a really great brand in and of its own. It can go on and challenge good chains in the future because of its use case, because of its team, and because of the collaborations. Partnerships. Look at this, talking about use cases. Bullish on ALGO, Dagnum PI. Mind-blowing numbers for TravelX when the United States airline industry starts cooking with Algorand. I talked about use cases, practical use cases. Now this is what we're talking about, folks. TravelX, other use cases. So look at this. TravelX is now working with airlines that have a combined yearly passenger count of over 83 million. Imagine if Algorand goes on and furthers its services. It further expands its services. It's going to be great, folks. I mean, this is awesome. What is this? BTC and M2 money supply correlation. Okay. There has to be an answer for this. Algorand tech is amazing, but the price hasn't shown strength. We need answers. As far as price is concerned, folks, price is a slow and gradual process. If Algorand increases the price with hype and like the memes, that would be another thing. But organic price rise is a bit difficult, I agree, because everything they're trying to develop. It can fail or succeed. It is sort of a project that is a mature project. Like any business, it can succeed or it can fail depending on what happens, folks. But it at least is doing something that is legit, folks. Algorand Foundation structured selling has been heating up. Seems unsustainable if the plan is to make it to 2030. Look at this. Either they are scrambling for cash for a massive deal, partnership, or racing for the exits. What do you think? Let's see what the people are saying. Yesterday, everyone was crying at bonds for daring to say Algorand was centralized. Today, they're crying because AF is selling. Literally can make this up. How Algorand Foundation distributes their dwindling pile of tokens is a different conversation than the network being decentralized and censorship resistance. We cover both the sides of the spectrum, folks, be it good, be it bad. We say that, yeah, and Algorand indeed has potential. Will it achieve that potential is a different thing, but if they do, they can go on and become a huge brand. So look at this. Of course, people will want to know how it is spent, especially as the reserves get low and sentiment plus price action deteriorate. That said, CCIP ETC can be expensive, so they could very well be pulling stake and selling it to fund integrations like that. The recoup. Okay. I think they're rushing to fully decentralize as soon as possible. That's consistent with the foundation shutting down its nodes. I feel there's a big deal or project on the table that needs Algorand to be decentralized. For example, any deal with a government for Algorand to be a government public blockchain is only political tenable if the foundation has no control. Okay. This makes little sense, but let's wait for some info. I'm sure now the thing has been noticed. We can expect at least some transparency. Let's see how this transpires, because we are going to be covering it as time passes by in Algorand coverages. Maybe I'm not getting it, but AlgoFam keeps mentioning Silvio took off the ALGO icon from his profile and let Algorand when it is literally there. Look at this. Yeah, the icon is there. Algorand, founder of Algorand, Silvio. This is the road, folks. This is the road. But look at this. It is difficult, but people say that, according to Avis Zenios over here as well, I have made many mistakes in my investment life, with ALGO being my worst one to date. I never sold any coin which I am holding, but it is crazy how bad this investment was and still is. I hope this changes for the amazing holders and the enormous efforts by the AF team, Algorand Foundation team. I told you folks that the price obviously is really bad in my opinion, as because we won't even blame the entire market at the moment, because there were projects that were doing well at the time and ALGO was still doing its sideways price action. But looking at the bigger picture, let's see this image over here. Looking at the bigger picture, folks, I think if they get out from this hard mess that it is in the long run, if they continue to develop, if they continue to meet milestones, ultimately, folks, the price, the value, it all catches up. This just depends on the development, partnerships, construction, and how well it is received, how it is utilized by the enterprises, by the governments, that time hasn't come yet. To be honest, we're just in the phase that, yeah, the partnerships are being forged, but actually a project being totally used in mission critical times hasn't been seen or witnessed yet. But if algo goes to that level, I think it has a shot to be huge, folks. So, folks, what do you guys think about Algorand, folks? I think that indeed it has the potential to be huge. I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think about this? Think about Algorand. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Do not forget to subscribe the channel and support it by becoming a Patreon. Thank you very much.